Hello, this is Dr. Lewerenz. Hope you're well. Hope this makes you better and more enlightened. And that is a topic that we are plagued with in the country, something that's not new, something that's very, if you will, understood and understood and underappreciated, because there's a lot to it. And unfortunately, we in medicine put it in a box, put it on a shelf, and don't necessarily fix it or correct it the right way. And that is very unfortunate. And that is a condition called fibromyalgia. It's a blanket diagnosis. It's a diagnosis of exclusion. What does that mean when somebody, and maybe it's you out there or loved ones you know, or somebody that you care about or has shared with you that they have fibromyalgia? Well, it's a blanket term that means that you're fatigued chronically, you have chronic pain, you've been lingering with things that can't really be pinpointed and diagnosed, and that is headaches and maybe brain fog and pain here and there and tender spots on your body that don't make sense and they move around. Okay, and I say it's understood. Again, understood is because we can't in science and in medicine really find a lot about it in a traditional medical approach. People get labeled that they have fibromyalgia, and then that becomes a stigma, and it often gets put with people that potentially have been diagnosed with depression or anxiety and chronic pain, yet they don't really have an objective orthopedic condition, and they're put on pain meds or antidepressants. And it's really unfortunate because it can be improved upon, can actually be reversed. We do it here all the time. And why I'm speaking to you today about it in September of 2022 here in my office here in Michigan is that we help it all the time. We improve it from a foundational standpoint, and you can too. So let me kind of get to it. Again, fibromyalgia, misunderstood, understood, but I want to explain some systems approach that here in a personalized functional medical way that we can help you, and we help patients here all the time with, okay? Remember one thing, and I have it covered in other videos. Here in our office, we always cover a 6-point model and build a health foundation, okay? Just like a foundation in your house, foundation in your car, and an operating system, if you will. And you always have to appreciate genetics, all your hormones, your diet and gut health, how you detoxify in toxins, mind and body connection, stressors too, in that mind and body connection, and structural issues, okay, in your body, okay? That is your health foundation. But going back to fibromyalgia, let me explain something that can happen in about a patient I saw today. And I can guarantee we're gonna fix her and make her all better. She's 36 years old. She's been suffering for about 2 years. And she finally, after seeing multiple specialists, including one out of state, that she was labeled with fibromyalgia. But here's her story, and I want you to listen to it closely, because it could be you or loved ones and people that you can direct right correctly and improve upon. And of course, here at Longevity Health Institute, we fix it all the time, okay? Is this. You have to understand that the body is a whole. And this person came to me because in tears today, 36 years old, sent from her pastor in her church that we treat and help, was very, very frustrated and left in that diagnosis of fibromyalgia. And basically, here's her story. 2 years ago, she was an athlete, young, healthy, one child at the time, okay, 2-year-old, very busy in life, okay, and I say an athlete because just because she didn't compete, she was running, biking, working out, going to the gym, etc. And yes, when she reflects back, felt great, felt amazing. She actually said she wants to get back to that, but she had a lot going on, a lot of plate spinning, busy, and then her child, her 2-year-old, got very sick. She went to many specialists, luckily, and thank God her child is good now, but she had a lot of worry with her child. The biggest, most important thing to this person and any mother and any potential stressor is what? Their family, their children, okay? So this is a major stressor on her, emotionally, psychologically, and psychosomatically, okay? And it can have really extreme effects, besides the fact that she was stressed and, working out a lot and pushing herself. And the reason she said, because it was the only stressor, the only relief, that she got, is the de-stressing of exercise and running and biking and working out, okay? So, mind you, then because of that and all those stressors, she actually got the flu, and it hit her real hard, and not COVID. She said she tested multiple times for COVID, but she did later test positive for flu. She felt horrible for weeks, and then the downward spiral started. And what happened to her is she never fully recovered from that. Her child got better. She literally poured into her child, of course, as she should, and any mother would, okay? And all of that effort, okay, then the child got better, and she said she spiraled down, and she has never felt the same. She deals with a lot of brain fog, fatigue, pains that move around, ache all over the place, some digestive issues that started, decreased sleep, broken sleep. Actually, the only medication that she's ever taken in her entire life at 36 years old now, besides antibiotics and things that are one-offs here and there, is now she's on Ambien. She's been on for the last 6 months, okay? So now let's fast forward to current times, which were today, and again, all these complaints, and just by doing some simple assessment here and us drawing blood, and I'm gonna get an adrenal saliva test on her, but I wanna tell you her story and what is going to show, and I've seen here many times, is that she has, due to her history, again, not months, but a couple of years of this and her child being sick, she has suffered a lot of stress effects on her adrenal gland. And that fight or flight, her adrenal gland has caused an adrenal fatigue. And that can also lead into all that stressor stuff, can also lead into digestive stuff like leaky gut, like IBS, the breakdown of the epithelium of the gut, so malabsorption of nutrients. But her adrenal levels are shot, okay? So she's getting lightheaded and dizzy, lower blood pressures, brain fog, pains everywhere, like I said earlier, and again, now digestive stuff and broken sleep. This is based on hormones in her system, her adrenal hormones, low iron, malabsorption of nutrients, IBS, okay? Irritable bowel stuff, bowel dysfunction, okay? And then again, chronic fatigue. Why would she have so much pain and again be labeled fibromyalgia? Because she's not making appropriate and enough cortisol. Cortisol is an adrenal hormone. It is an anti-inflammatory hormone. You need that for not having pain and not having inflammation in your body. You need cortisol for energy, for good brain function, for better recall, okay? Blood pressure often will drop with poor adrenal function, okay? And again, her biggest stuff and why she was labeled with fibromyalgia is the pain, having pain and mild depression, and just nothing was found in all her lab tests, all her specialists. I think it was about 5 specialists, including one out of state, okay? And she was really desperate. And of course, what made her worse, and this is real key, is that every time she exercised, every time a stressor came on in the last even 6 months or so, she got even worse. More fatigue, more pain, etc. Okay? And so instead of her living in this just sickly, if you would call it, state, in effect, she said words like, I'm sick of being sick and I want to be my old self, and she literally had tears going down her eyes. We are going to support her adrenal gland. We're going to recharge her adrenal gland, get her cortisols back to normal and to balanced, which will also, by the way, help her progesterone production, which I didn't say this, but her period started to be off, which will help her get back to sleep, will get her off of Ambien, okay? And her cortisols, as they get better and get more balanced and appropriate, she'll have less inflammation in her body, which means less pain. And that is the whole goal for her. And I can guarantee, okay, because I've seen it here and done it here so many times, that her pain and her point tenderness all over her body, her headaches, her fatigue, her brain fog, her sleep, and all that stuff will start to go down month by month by month by month, okay? And that is often often the source, the foundation of a diagnosis, a misdiagnosis or misrepresented or understood diagnosis like fibromyalgia. So if you have fibromyalgia diagnosis, if you live in a situation like this, and this story sounds very familiar, meaning they're not finding anything in your labs much, they're not giving you really a concrete point that is expressing to you what makes sense, what is going on with you, you got to check your adrenals. You got to make sure you got a good gut and good nutrients, and you have to take this foundational personalized approach and correct it, okay? Again, fibromyalgia is a blanket throw out diagnosis, okay? There is root causes to it, and that's what we found in her, and we continue to find in patients here and help them with their fibromyalgia, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. That story kind of resonates with you and with people you might know and love. Educate them on this. Share this video. Follow us here on our Facebook and on YouTube, okay? If you need, come see us here, me and my practitioners at Longevity Health Institute here in Rochester and in Bingham Farms. We will help you and improve and potentially even reverse and resolve your diagnosis of fibromyalgia, okay? One last message, one last word. Love each other. Here in 2022, yes, we're getting better in the world, but we gotta love each other. We gotta smile, we gotta be happy, we gotta be positive, okay? And we gotta take accountability and make yourself better, your friends and loved ones better, and the world better. And it's infectious, I promise you, okay? So let's do the right thing and love each other. One thing I have in the office here, because it's based on a lot of our core values in our office staff and what we try to resonate here and express here and we live passionately with, is I call it the 7 rules of life. And I wanted to share that with you. So the last message is this: live by the 7 rules of life. Smile, be kind, especially be kind to yourself and others. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. And, just like with fibromyalgia, you gotta listen to your body and don't accept a diagnosis of exclusion like fibromyalgia, okay? Unless you're getting better, okay? Don't compare. Don't compare yourself. Avoid negativity. Always be positive. Make peace with your past. Super key. Super key, the mind and body connection. And take care of your mind and your body. 7 rules of life I love. I actually even posted here for my staff and for our employees and for our patients, just to remind them, okay, of these things, because those approaches, okay, and we all have trauma and journeys to go through, all of us in our life, okay? If you're on this planet and you're breathing, okay, you're gonna have little traumas and you're gonna have big traumas, okay? And I promise you, you take an approach like this and it's gonna help you immensely to live a healthier, happier life. Take care of yourself, take care of each other. This is Dr. Lewerenz. Be well.